Well, good morning, everybody. That's not going to be loud enough, is it? I don't think it's going to be loud enough. Oh, my other headset's not. Good morning. Welcome to Simply Live with Simply Lesa, or something like that. And hopefully, we get to continue this morning. Getting out headphones because there are other people here in camp. Oh, I can't use this. Okay, bummer. Can't use this. And my Bluetooth one must not be charged because I couldn't make it connect this morning. Bummer. So hopefully you guys can hear me, whoever's here. So I'm finished with Overland Expo for the moment. I love doing Overland Expo. Welcome as people are coming in. Please say hi, and hopefully my signal lasts long enough for us to get in a good weekly update chit chat. I hope everybody's had a great week. I'm in. Good morning, Catherine. Oh, good. That's wonderful. Because I didn't want to be too loud. I have a camp buddy in this van. His name is Tom. I didn't ask him if he wanted to be on camera, so I'm not doing that to him. But he's listening to his radio and sitting by a campfire behind me. And if I do that, you can kind of see. And so I don't want to disturb his morning too much. I mean, he's a very he's a pretty good friend. Some people I just call acquaintances, and some people are friends. But I've known him years, and he's a good camp buddy. I don't want to disturb things. So let's see. Overland Expo has been wonderful. Oh, and I don't know if anybody noticed. Well, there's only one of you right now, but oh, yes, exactly. Yes. Thank you for letting me know. And good morning, Midnight Kennel, I think it is. Um, uh, did you guys notice? I I have 5,000 subscribers this morning on my YouTube channel. Woohoo. Yeah, I don't know if that really means much of anything, because I've been monetized for a while, but I think in the newer rules for YouTube, I think at 5,000 is when people can then become monetized. Let's see if I can perch myself here. I have my, oh, the other day we were talking about salmon and one of my dietary things. Wait a minute, sunshine would be good. Sunshine on the can. There you go. That's the Deming salmon. It's $5 a can or close to that. But I really like this, and it's Sunday, so I already took it out of my container when I was making coffee. Um, today I often make salmon chowder with a sweet potato and onions and stuff. Anyways, I'm gonna make that today and share it with Tom in camp. So let's turn me this way a little bit. You see a lot of his van, and but that's okay. I don't think it'll hurt much, but I can perch here on the corner and not have to stand up the whole time. And I'm still finishing. And if that bothers you guys too much, then I'll do the best and we'll cut it short, whatever we need to do. But it is set up, and so I do have it connected. Let's hold this and not wiggle too much with my. There you get to see some beautiful trees behind me. So this week, what has happened? Well, I left Expo, I think it was Monday. We had to be, oh, I just see this card under my nose. We'll talk about this in a minute. Um, um, I left Expo Monday. We needed to be off site at like 11 o'clock in the morning after the Expo. And so I did that. and I drove down to Hartselle, Colorado. It's near the Salida area to check on one of my friend's property in RV. He has a neighbor that kind of looks out for it, but nobody'd been there in a while. And so he asked me if I'd check. And of course, he and his family have been really good to me over the years. So, I visit with his aunts and uncles and his daughter. And so I actually met him and his daughter at Fortuna Pond in Yuma years ago because of Ozzy. The daughter just fell in love with Ozzy, and so that's how it all started. And so I'm pretty close with their whole family, and that's kind of nice. So I went and checked on his place in Hartselle, Colorado, which is a um, pretty big hunting and fishing area, as well as there's I think it's international because it comes down from Canada and keeps going. It might be a Continental Divide bicycle trail. So a lot of international. I met a couple of guys that were on a bicycle trip, which in my younger days when I was like 17, 18, I really wanted to be to do bicycle trips. And I won't tell that story right now, but I had bought a Motobacan, and in '76 that was like a really expensive bicycle, and I was planning a trip to go from Portsmouth, New Hampshire, Elliott, Maine area to California, to San Francisco or something. Anyways, never happened, but it was a plan I had. So I guess I've always been a little bit adventurous in my ideas. Um, okay, so I left Monday, went to Hartselle, checked on the RV, spent a couple of nights there. And the ants were horrible at his place. And you step out the door and they were crawling up your pant legs and on the outside. That was it was a little weird. So I only spent a couple of nights, and I did do something different for me. I went in the saloon and actually had some dinner in the saloon. Different and kind of like spending a little money on myself, right? Carefully. Um, and then after that, I connected with some friends that I knew were in Colorado, and Tom was one of them. And it seemed from the answers from the two or three people I had connected with again that coming toward Tom was the best thing. Uh, Along with the fact that I'm a little anxious to kind of go back to the cabin, which I used to call studio, and all of a sudden I've been calling a cabin. But I'm kind of anxious to go back. So I checked in with those people as well. And I know that getting back sometime the first couple of weeks of September is good timing for the better weather. And usually the roads have dried up after monsoons. So sometime in the next couple of weeks, I'm probably going back to the cabin. And perhaps I'll try to time it so that I can at least film, if not do a live, on like going back and wow, what has changed? Did you guys see it like I see it? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And probably not much has changed. I kind of get, I got a report from the neighbor and whatever. So, so I came down to Pagosa Springs, and I had a town errand day with Tom. And Tom has a dog. Can we see her over there? Can you see her by the rear tire? Yeah, she's in the camera shot. Um, she's part wolf, and what a lovely dog. This morning she came over and asked me to take her for a walk. And so for a couple of mornings we've been walking together, her and I. And that feels good because I do need to get, more exercise and keep my muscles in good shape. Been having a little weird nerve tingly weird thing in in my lower extremities the last 2 or 3 weeks. And I do want to kind of check in with my doctor about that to see if that's part of the MS and if there's anything specific, right? But basically, just trying to make sure I'm exercising and keeping my muscles working. So what else have I done for Tom and I are planning to go down. Evidently, Pagosa Springs has some free hot springs, and so we're going to try to find those. That's part of what's going to happen in the next few days. Yesterday, though, we had a crazy hailstorm here, and I mean, it got cold. I slept with a winter hat on last night. Yeah, it was pretty cold. And a lot of lightning and stuff. It was kind of a quite a little storm. What else happened this week? I feel like, because I've had quite a few days of driving. So I don't know why I was so scared of this. There's a Wolf Creek Pass that comes down through Colorado. And for some reason, I thought that was a horrible road and it was like really, really steep and scary. And it's a 7% grade. Yes, it's miles of it, but it's 7% and it has some curves and a couple of hairpin turns in it. And I got some pictures from that part of the drive, photos that I'm going to try to get into. One of the, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm trying to, now that I've kind of gotten used to the Sunday lives with you guys, so you catch up with me every week, kind of more in person. I'm trying to do a Wednesday video. And so I'm working on that. I also have a friend that was volunteering with me at Expo. Oh, I didn't tell you that. At this past Expo, because I was in Loveland so early, I went ahead and contacted my friends from when I had volunteered at expos in Flagstaff. And so I contacted them and said, "Hey, I'm early. Can you use extra set of hands?" They were like, "Yeah, come on, come on, come on." So I camped with the volunteers from like Monday the previous week through Thursday morning when I was able to check in and move over to the DIY showcase area of the expo show. And I really, really enjoy all the DIY people. I feel like they're my folks, you know. Sure, there's lots of expensive rigs for show and for sale, and um, in the exhibitor area, because you don't really sell vehicles in the DIY area, but you're able to, if you get an exhibitor pass, then you could sell a vehicle over in the vendor area. So sometimes there's vehicles for sale. Maybe they buddy up with a vendor. Um, I can't think of one that happened this time, but sometimes that happens. And some of the vendors will allow some showcase vehicles to be at their site. Maybe they used some of the products, and so they might have space to park one of those vehicles that used a lot of their products in their vendor site. And so kind of that's how you get to see all of these really cool rigs. Some of them are very, very expensive. I believe one rig that a company brought to sell to that vendor area, I believe it was $500,000. I was like, whoa, I can't do that. If somebody can, I mean, great. It was a beautiful rig. I bet it'll be wonderful for a few years. Well, probably for a lot of years. But I wouldn't want to drive it because it was big. And wow, what a price tag. But different strokes, right? It takes all kinds of us to get around. But I kind of like the teaching a lot. I like showing my rig, although, yes, just like every other human being in the world, you know, I get a little bit of the, oh crap, I'm not as cool as some of these other people who bought all this stuff. But at the same time, that's why I'm there, is to show people that you don't have to have a $500,000 rig in order to go have some kind of a vehicle dependent, which is overlanding is vehicle dependent adventure travel. You don't have to spend that kind of money to be an adventurous traveler. You don't. Or to be a nomad. you just don't. And you can be disabled, and you can be somebody like me that's only getting $900 a month or whatever in a disability check. You can go out there with some of your Ozark Trails stuff from the Walmart. Or now, to me, this is a medium price company, but some of you will recognize the Kelty name. Kelty was really good to me at the event. And take note of this. I don't know whether you guys will be able to scan that. What are they called? CR codes or whatever it is. I'm not sure you can scan that off your phone and use it, but I know that they will, if you use my name when you talk to them or order something, that they will kind of honor some discount for you. I didn't make a big deal out of it with the company, but I told them I'd talk about them because they gave me their show model side roads awning. And that's one of the pictures I put out in that post I put out before this live started this morning to re-announce that yes, I'm going to be on this morning. And so they gave me a side roads awning. It's a really nice piece of kit. It doesn't fit my tracker. And I'm going to have to talk to Kyle again, but it doesn't. My tracker is 42 inches corner to corner at the top. And on the side, I'm only 5 feet from the corner to like in front of the passenger door. So that awning does not fit my car at all. It's just too big. And I have pictures to prove that and stuff. But so right now, we actually have it set up on the side of Tom's van. And even in the hailstorm last night, we were sitting outside uh, along with how many flies that got up in the top of it, right? But we were sitting outside in it during the hailstorm last night, and it really is a nice outdoor space that kind of can come off the side of a vehicle or the rear. But you do, because it has tent poles, you have to kind of watch the wind because it could be a sail. But it really is tied on well. I think the design is excellent. And so, you know, look at Kelty products when you're looking for things. To me, they're kind of a medium price. Okay. They're not $400 for something, but like that, I'm might be a little off, but the side, uh, um, what did I just call it? That side awning, roadside awning, is somewhere around 150, $160, something like that, as opposed to some of the awnings that, like the dragonfly awnings that I think are gorgeous, but they're custom made, I think in Idaho, by a very small cottage industry company. Theirs are closer to $1,500 just to start. And so to me, this is a more medium price. And then something you're going to get from, say, a Walmart, some Ozark Trails kind of awning, or those little tiny hiker's tarp awnings that I like. You could get something for 10 or 20 or $35. Yeah, I'm going to order an awning off Amazon that I have found that is nylon. I can't remember if it's ripstop nylon, but it's nylon, and I'll be able to use awning poles. But that awning's like $35. So I'm saying this is kind of a mid price, but really good quality stuff. Most of you will remember Kelty as a company. They've been around a long time. So, you know, give them a holler if you're looking for something. I was surprised at some of the things. I didn't realize they had sleeping bags. I guess I should have, because, but anyways, I didn't realize they had sleeping bags and stuff, but whatever. So, and I keep seeing the sun being behind my head and trying to shade it from the phone's camera. Um, So what else has happened this week? Went to a bunch of stores the other day with Tom. It was such a fun, relaxing day. We went to a rec center to get a shower. That's a common thing that I do, find in less expensive showers than, say, a truck stop or something. Um, yeah, I have ways to do things in camp, but sometimes it's nice to just go do it. And I believe we paid $4 at the one here in Pagosa Springs. Um, and then we did some thrift store looking around, and that's just fun. And sometimes, oh, we went in one that was like an antique store. It was more high price. Oh, and how funny. There was a girl I had met one time running around some thrift store, junk shops, antique shops in Sedona. She just this week moved up here to Pagosa Springs, and I met her in the antique kind of store that we were in, and she was all excited to see me again. And that was, those things are cool. That's really fun. So she now has my contact information, so she can stay in touch. Um, And of course, off and on as you camp over a week or whatever, you kind of mess up the car and then you have to clean it again. And after Expo, I had to like really clean the car up. And, um, so it's kind of organized well again. I could show you the back of the car. If you guys, little housekeeping stuff while I'm showing you, yes. Let's see. This is now my kind of kitchen bag. You can see my silverware and chopsticks and stuff up in here. And bandanas, or this one happens to be a survival bandana I got from Jack's here in Colorado. Is a farm and ranch store. um but I keep like the bandanas in here. I use them for like hot mats, and if you got to hold the pot in your hand and things like that. And then a small pack of Huggies wipes, because I'll wipe my dishes out with those first and then kind of wash them. I hope I'm showing you. The refrigerator is back there. I haven't been using it as much as I thought I would. This is kind of my stove bag. You can see a little bit in that. And you see things, my coffee cups out there. I see a fly on it. This is food storage. It fits, it's a ammo can. No, ammo crate. I apologize. And I did pick it up at Jack's, but the ammo crate fits canned goods, and then on top I can put other like dry goods and stuff. So there's quite a little bit of food in there right now. Don't look at that little jar of instant coffee over there. It's not a favorite kind, but I have it. Sometimes you have things. This is my mallet for putting in tent stakes, a little stool that's got 4 legs on it, awning poles, some more sterno. I'll turn that around so you guys can see, because I really do still use sterno for a lot of things. I know how to cook with this. That works so good. And this is my Ziploc bags and parchment paper and aluminum foil. I bought inexpensive aluminum foil like at Dollar General or somewhere. And oh, that's kind of low, isn't it? And but that's okay. You can see what's going on. And it came in one of those pop-up things, like tissues come, kind of attached. So I took it out of the cardboard box and folded it in half so I could put it inside a Ziploc bag, and did the same thing with parchment paper that I bought probably at Dollar Tree. So it was probably $1.25 for each thing. And that way I don't have to have the boxes. So it fits in a space better. The other morning, I use the parchment paper inside the aluminum so that my food, I try not to do much with aluminum because of my health. Or I just want to. I use the parchment paper inside when I'm making like a hobo meal kind of thing. And the other day, yesterday, I made hobo packs because Tom and I tend to have a morning fire when we're hanging out together. Well, I like morning fires, anyways. And so I just put foil down and put the parchment paper on, drizzled some oil on it. Yesterday's oil was toasted sesame oil. See, you're going to get a recipe now. And then I had Dollar Tree is starting to sell. I don't know how long they're going to have them, but they're starting to sell rice-shaped packages of rice-shaped hearts of palm. And I've used palmetti noodles for like a spaghetti-ish thing for quite a while. I've known about it a long time. But at $1.25 for the rice shapes, I bought a whole bunch. I think I bought 10 of them when I went in this last time. And so yesterday, they have them in a mashed potato shape, a brown rice shape, and a white rice shape. And that's because the way hearts of palm grow, it is a palm tree and it gets about person high, and they can cut them off. And the center is this nice long thing. And part of it's a little brown and the top of it's a little more white, light colored. And so they cut these into a shape and package them. So anyway, I put one package of the rice thing in one and one in the other, so that Tom and I both had a meal yesterday that was like an easy cook. So I put those packages in, and then I put a handful of dehydrated spinach because I'm trying to use that up. I only have a little bit left. And I forget what that stuff's called. I can reach it though. I have this Japanese seasoning that's kind of low salt. Well, since you're getting the whole recipe and I'm standing up, there you go. So it was this sesame oil is what I drizzled on the paper. Then I put in that package of hearts of palm rice. And then I used this. I don't know how to say it. It's a Japanese seasoning that has sesame seeds and seaweed and I think it's nori. And citrus. Yeah, it is nori flakes. And but anyway, so these two things, and then Tom had bought a roasted chicken at Walmart the other day, and there was some. So we put some chicken meat in it, and then I drizzled some more oil on. I think that's all I put on it. Yeah, and then just close up the parchment paper first, and then close up the tinfoil over that, and then just set it in the coals at the side of the fire. Pull some coals over, set them on top of that. Listen, because this was more warming up food than like cooking raw food, and so just listen for the sizzle of the food in the oil, and then let it sizzle for a little while, and flip it over and let the other side sizzle a little while, and then leave them until you're ready to eat. And it was really good and no work. Really it was minor work. So so that was a meal yesterday. So you got a recipe, guys. And you could do that with rice. You could do it with anything, but there you go. Okay, so back to a little bit more of the housekeeping. Please don't forget there's super chats down bottom if you would like to use it like a tip jar. And on all my videos now, there's super thanks as well. You can buy me a coffee. You can give me a little gas money. And I mean, I apologize. It feels like a commercial, but it helps me. It really does help me on my income to be able to do more. And so I appreciate it when you guys are able, but I am not asking anybody. You do not have to feel like you have to, because I have been there. And I know I can't always help somebody else either. I do what I can. It's not always in cash, but if you would like to buy me a coffee or add some gas or help me out with something, you can hit super chat or super thanks on a video, or you can go into my Amazon wish list. You could buy me something. There's some little items in there. In fact, there's a fire extinguisher in there that's I think $10 in my wish list that I would like to have in the card. Someday I'll get it, but it hasn't been a high priority because I'm careful. But whatever. And what other housekeeping things? Please say hi to each other in the chats. If you have a question for me today, please put 2 or 3, let's say 3, uppercase Q's, so I notice quickly as the chats scroll by on my screen that I notice that there's a question I need to go check, so I can try to answer it for you today. Let's let's see. I am. Oh, I met a volunteer while I was gone, whose job or whatever is working with marketing stuff, and so he's actually making me stickers for my YouTube channel to put on the tracker. I've decided that I'm not going to worry about paint job right now. There's a couple of flakes of paint that have come off on the tracker. I'm going to work on learning how to patch those places for now. Um, I don't know what's happening with my idea of having the hitch mounted hammock stand. Um, I know that I'm very excited that when I get, oh, there's a fly. Very excited that when I get home, that Mojave Bohemian has evidently sent me money to help me get that stand. Well, we're going to have to work on that a little bit. Um, let's see. I'm also this month trying to get a new pair of shoes. My my shoes are wearing out pretty bad, but this is normal. You know, it's normal life, but it's time. I've had these for 2 years, and I never liked the really bright blue, but I didn't have the choice. They've got charcoal color now, so that's what I'm going to get. But I'm probably going to order those maybe this afternoon and have them shipped to the cabin because I will be there sometime in the next few weeks, couple of weeks. Um, so I'm gonna get shoes. I'm gonna get the a new tarp for an awning that now that I've measured the back end of the car better and the sides, and I kind of have a hunch how to attach it, even if you go all the way over the top and attach to tires. I think I know a little better how to attach it, even though like the Kelty side roads doesn't fit my car. And which means also I check the measurements for the slumberjack that I thought I wanted. It's not going to fit either. Neither will the Kelty Waypoint, which all of these were options I thought I was going to have. So I've already measured, I've already picked out a couple of awning tarps. I haven't decided whether to get a blue one, like similar to this color, which I do like that color a lot, and it's kind of beachy looking. So I might go with the blue, and I might go with the gray because the gray kind of is a little less flashy and a little more unobtrusive. Is that the right word I want? Kind of blends with the car better, and in a campsite, this blue, you know, you could see it from the road, but the gray, depending on how you park, you're not really going to hide. But I don't know which way I want to go with that. So I'm considering those things. Let's see what else. Um, I hope I've done a good job remembering the things. I didn't bring notes today. But I feel like it's been kind of a busy week, and that hailstorm yesterday, wow, that reminded me of some times in my life when there were scary storms. Oh, and I saw one of Aj's thumbnails for one of her. Okay, I can't fix it. For one of her, and you know she's up in Williams, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, there's a I don't know." The thumbnail looked like it was there's a river in my where I walk or something on my property. And I was like, yeah, some of you people that didn't listen to me how many years ago when I was like, it's scary up here when there's so much water, right? But I'm glad that they're safe and they're able to do what they do. So let me check if you guys have any questions. How do you keep from dragging grass and dirt? Oh, that's a good question. Hi, Janet. Let me go down just a little. Okay, so how do I keep from dragging dirt, grass, and into the vehicle, especially after rain? Okay, let me just tell you, if you have a dog with you, there's a whole other situation going on, right? So when I used to have Ozzy, I would purchase things like my blankets and my sleeping bags. I would buy Ozark Trail sleeping bags. They're like 50-degree or 40-degree ones for like $9 or $10 when they're on sale every spring. And the reason was they're polyester filling and they can be thrown in a washing machine. And with a dog, I knew they were going to get dirty. They'll sometimes get muddy and whatever else. So with Aussie, and I would buy the cheap sleeping bags that I knew I could wash them a lot. And when they died, it wouldn't cost me a lot of money to get another one. So I did that one piece, and I always kept well, I still do. Um, I've kept a fleece sleeping bag liner, but I have the old style that's a little more rectangular. It actually unzips and it fits like a double bed if it's open. The same with those sleeping bags. And so, and they all wash so easy. And that was part of the thing, but the fleece can hold heat in really well, even if it gets dirty or wet. And so there was a lot of that decision making when I had Aussie. I also have always kept a really good yoga mat that was my outdoor like rug when I had Aussie. Right now, I'm using that same yoga mat. It's kind of rubberized and it's a real good quality one. I'm using that as part of my bed right now. So it's not outside. Right now, I have one of those little tiny, is it turtle stools? I'm going to get it. One of these stools. You know these. You see how dirty the top of this is? That's how dirty my shoes were last night getting in and out to go to the bathroom or early this morning. Um, they have enough grip on the top of them. I don't really need a stool beside my door, but I keep that and I'll step up on it and wipe my feet like it was a mat because of how small my space is. But it also gives me another thing for a table or an end table or a place to set my coffee cup or whatever. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I always plan where I'm going to set my shoes. So I sit in the doorway on my bed and take my shoes off kind of with the open door and then put the shoes where I need them to be so that I'm not getting things dirty. I was thinking about this yesterday that I probably ought to keep a larger Ziploc, like one of the small versions of a Ziploc big bag, close by for putting them in if it's really wet or snowy or something like that. But for right now, I just have a place where I set them. And so that's the best answer I got on that. Let's see what else we have for questions. So I got that. Okay, let's do this. If it rains, rugs get wet and make a mess of their own. Yes, and that's why on the outside first. And then, but in this case, because the car is so small, then I'm doing that stool in place of. So that's how I'm doing that. And I'm just using it to scrape my feet off on and then hop up in. Oh, is Shane here? Hi, Shane. Catherine. Oh, hi, TJ, Catherine, everybody. Tons of shopping and the beaches. Oh, okay. I don't know what you guys are talking about there. I really, really, really think maybe it's almost time for me to get myself a dog. Now, I love sharing dogs with my camp buddies, and being able to share Tika right now has been wonderful that she'll go to walk for walks with me. Okay, let's see. Hi, Lesa. Oh, that's Janet. Oh, Janet, I'm sorry you're in the hospital. I will pray for you. TJ. Ooh, good for you, Puerto Los Cabos. Wonderful. Oh, that'll be fun trip. I can't wait to go to some more other countries. Catherine, you were saying something about a roof rack? Roof racks aren't that hard to install. I mean, sometimes you need somebody with a little extra oomph in their muscle to tighten something down. Shane, I love you. Hi. Um, thank you about the sun. That's funny. One, oh, guilty legs. Okay. Oh, good that you could scan that QR code because, I mean, man, 40% off. That's a wonderful deal, right? Once I recover from this. Wonderful. All right. Oh, I did. Speaking of roof racks, I don't know if you guys know, but there are inflatable, portable roof racks for um paddle boards, and you can use them for some, like if you needed to put just a tent up on your roof or something like that. But I looked at it for this because they're saying you can even put them on a smart car because it's like there's a webbing strap that goes through the windows. So it's around your roof. And so if you need a small for something lightweight, I think that's a good idea. It's something I've considered for my rig. I don't really have anything I need to put on the roof, but I am not going up on the roof of this rig. There's a lot of reasons, but I'm not. All right, I'm not seeing any more questions. Yeah, that treating myself comment I just am seeing as I'm scrolling. Um, that that I don't think I've done that in a long, long time. It only cost me $25. That's half a gas tank of gas for me. And that was really nice to do that. It really felt good to have been able to. So so I think that occasionally I'll let myself do things like that again. Uh, okay. Oh yeah, and Tom and I were whoops, had my finger in front of the lens. That wasn't very nice for you guys. Um, Tom and I were discussing outdoor rugs at um his rig. He was talking about wanting something outside. And then with hail yesterday, I was like, yeah, but one of the things he was talking about, that's going to be so sloppy, messy or something. He likes cotton rag rugs because with a larger dog, he can like line the floor of the van with them. He puts them on top of his mattress so the dog isn't like, getting even the mattress wet, right? And they all throw in the washing machine really easy. And when you can find, in my opinion, when you can find denim uh, rag rugs, they wash and last. They wash well. They last really well. The only weak point in the denim ones is whatever they use for thread to weave them. And so usually the denim ones last a long, long, long time. But because he likes rag rugs, he was talking about getting one to put on the ground. But then it's going to be dirty, and if it's rainy or like yesterday's hail and rain and whatever, it would be a sloppy, muddy mess to have to like then carry somewhere to wash. We were talking about it, and sometimes you can get those, especially down a quartzsite, small size, kind of inexpensive, like RV rugs that are kind of. Um, they're plasticky, and you can't throw those in the washing machine. But like he has a ladder rack on the back of one of his doors. I think you can see it right there. And uh, with those plasticky rugs, they don't feel good on your feet. You can't really clean your shoes off on them. But if you had that on the ground first and then put a rag rug on top of it, the rag rug could be washed. It shouldn't be too messy. And then that plastic like RV style rug, but if you can get a small one, they come in small sizes. But if you can get a small one, he could, for example, just roll it up and bungee it onto his ladder rack, and it could ride outdoors, and then all that dirt's outside. So I think that's a good idea. Whoops, what did I do? I was trying to read your chats again because I saw something come up, but then I don't see anything. Oh, there we go. Oh, nice. Oh, oh, that's what a horrible thing to happen to you. Midnight. Oh, I'm so sorry, but I'm glad that you have the puppy to train to replace your service dog. But I'm so sorry about what happened with the service dog. Oh, what a sad story. Um, I think about the fact that a service dog would be good for me, but I bet with MS and the kind of tendency toward instability, they would probably try to encourage me to have a big dog. And my car is so small, and I do have allergies, right? And I guess if I was going that way, I'd probably look a little more at like a poodle breed or something because the hair wouldn't be such a problem. I don't have room in this car for that. So, y'all know I've had two Yorkies. I had Gogo, who was a 2.5 to 3 pound, depending, right? And then I had Aussie, who was an 11 to 11 pound dog, Yorkie. And both of those were full bred Yorkies. Just Aussie was a larger old one. Yes, rescue. Oh, I'm sorry. That's you guys are talking to each other. And I'm so glad you do that. I love that community part of our Sunday mornings where y'all chit chat together. That just makes me feel good. Right. And one day is, hey, what else can we do when trauma happens to us? Any kind of trauma happens to us, whether it's, breaking a bone or having an argument with somebody you love. Those are traumas too. And it just, yeah, one day at a time and you deal with it. I'm sorry about that. But I'm glad that you have the new focus of the new puppy. Um, uh, Anyways, back to me and dogs. Um, I love the good parts of the terrier breeds. I loved Ozzy's personality. Yeah, he had some weirdness that I didn't love. Um, every time lately, and I've seen quite a few of them this summer, but every time lately I see a Westie, I know they're white. But every time I see a Westie, I just fall in love all over again. So I don't know if I could find a Westie that I could rescue that maybe had been with an elderly person or something. I don't know, but it feels like that would be a dog I would rescue. I haven't yet found anyone who has the kind of pricing I could afford for a Westie, because as I understand it, a real Westie from a breeder is about $3,500. Yeah, not really in my. And both of the dogs I've had before were rescues. So, um, but I'd rather have one that had a little less awkwardness uh, with other dogs. Like Ozzy had a lot of awkwardness with other dogs. That was hard on me. So let's see. Anybody have any ideas what they would like to hear me talk about further this morning? We have been on nearly an hour. I'm so happy that the connection's been good that we could talk and I could catch you up. Um, so, any subject matters you'd like me to talk about, we'll take those next. And then I'll give you a few more minutes and then I'll probably go. Um, One of your daughters could sell ice to an Eskimo. That's good. Yeah, Ozzy was good with people. Yes, he he had trouble with, especially pit bulls and dogs that did not have, male dogs that were not neutered. He did not like either one of those, but he had been attacked by pit bulls once, and so that was a whole thing. Um, and he, almost died a couple of times. He was a good dog with people, yeah. But I'd like to have one that's a little bit more, yeah. What's I can't think of the word, but a little bit more able to be around other dogs and just a little easier to travel with. But I love Westie's personalities, so I think I would go that direction. If it was possible, I would go that direction, and I would look for a dog. Even in this car, I would probably look for one that's around that 11 pounds, like Ozzy was. That was a good size. Oh, one of my neighbors had a trail cam out. Now, this neighbor is very close to where my property is. Okay, and they had a trail cam out, and I saw the picture the other day that they posted on Facebook. Yes, I'm on Facebook, but I'm trying not to use Facebook for the whole SimplyLesa thing because it's just too many other pieces. I just don't want to do, I'm trying to keep my life simple too. So, but anyway, the trail cam picture that they put out, they got the picture of the big cat, and it's a cougar. It's there. It's big. It's real. I knew that. I knew that was why I was a little nervous about doing my walk without having a dog. Because, well, yeah. So I'm going to have to learn how to walk without a dog until I have one again. And having a little bait dog. No offense to anybody with small dogs, love them. But sometimes in these situations where there's bears or cougars or whatever, having a little tiny dog, they're just bait. And I'd rather have one that's big enough that their bark can help scare an animal away rather than just call them in for the kill. That's hard on, having to deal with. So, anything else you guys you want me to talk about today? Um, I gave you a recipe. I tried to give you a weekly update. I think I did pretty good. I kind of feel like my week went by so fast I forgot what I did, but I think I did pretty good with that. Um, and yeah, these, like I showed you, that little stool, the top of mine has enough bumps on it that it really works good for just wiping your feet off. So that's helpful. This camping area I'm at Turkey, I think it's called Turkey Trail, near uh near Pagosa Springs. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Well, obviously, lovely wooded area. No, this one doesn't. This is an older. I think it's Champion, and I've had this for years. I had one, and it has the thumb holes. I've had it for years. I had a white one from LL Bean when I was down in Costa Rica. I miss that shirt. I shouldn't have let that one go, but things happen. Uh, but I've had this a long time, and the bright blue does kind of look good. I am. We are. But it was so cold today, so it's not going to happen today. We're going to wait for a little drier, warmer day. And last night was cold. I'm saying cold. I don't know what the temperature was. It was probably down in the low 50s. I've been seeing on the weather reports. But if it's a little too cold, we won't go. But yeah, I agree with you. I do think this looks good on me.
It's perfect.
So what's perfect?
The temperature.
Oh, the temperature. Tom's saying the temperature is perfect. It is awfully good, yes. But yeah, if it was warmer, getting in water feels good. But I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, but I did wear my winter hat last night just to just to make sure I didn't get too chilly. I was comfortable. Getting up to go pee though at like I think it was 4:30 this morning. I was like, oh, you know, that's when I put this blue shirt on, and it hasn't come off yet. Oh, nice about the puppy. Teeth of a piranha, huh? It is a beautiful sight. And there's hiking trails right close, like I'm pointing over here. I think Tika and I maybe walked out. You heard me say your name, didn't you? I think we maybe walked, because to me, a dirt trail that's obviously a trail, to me, that's a walk in the woods. A hike to me is more bushwhacking, right? But anyway, we probably went a good half a mile. So it would have turned, one way. And so that would have been a good mile. I think we got in a mile this morning. There's quite a few trails right here. It's very nice. I love that y'all talk to each other in the morning. I love this. That it's not all about me. That's what I wanted from you guys. Yay. I am working with my friend that volunteer from Expo that I met. His name's Darren. Working with him on my um doing some updates to my logo, and then for the stickers that'll go on my tracker so that people will see that as I'm driving along. Um it's kind of not just encouraging me, but almost forcing me to get a little more clear on what I love and what I'm giving you guys and doing. You may see me soon post a um what did they call it, a a check thing where you can give opinion about some things that I'm doing. Oh, oops! I didn't mean to. I touched the wrong thing. Something happened. Um, so uh, yeah, I'm probably gonna do a little thing asking you guys like what you're getting from me. Um, because it'll help me focus a little more. Another new friend that I made through the last expo here in Colorado, his name's Sam. He's an author from the UK and a world traveler. Um, he's trying to encourage me to write a book. That might be a good thing for me to do. So, uh, Darren, the graphic designer, marketing person, is encouraging me to come up with to buy the domain name and Iris. That's a great idea. You know what? I used to have magnets like that. So that's a really great idea. I forgot about that because sometimes I don't want everybody like, yeah, I don't know. I'll talk about that with him. But Darren's kind of encouraging me to to buy the domain name, yeah, for a website, and then to do thing like the YouTube channel, the blog, all those things on there that allows people to just click and go find me, and kind of use it like a big, maybe I'll have a bio on it, right? But that'll be more like a big business card that leads people somewhere. And so we're talking about that. He's really trying to encourage me to do that. I think it's a good idea. And with Sam's idea about writing a book, I do like to write. I really do. Once I figured out when I was in Richmond, Virginia, going to uh, Virginia Commonwealth University a few years. I went. I never graduated. I never finished, but I
I struggled with English classes, and they kept giving me these long essay assignments. I was like, I don't understand how to write. It doesn't work for me, right? And um, then one day it dawned on me because I'd been an artist. Well, still am, but anyways, I had been a visual artist. And one day uh, I just realized that if I could describe as if I was painting the picture that I saw, it changed everything about writing. And it was like, oh, I got it. So now writing is kind of fun because it's like using words to describe the scene, the picture, the story, whatever it is, instead of having to paint. Although I love to paint, it's just not a very practical medium anymore. People don't, it's so easy to get artwork for a wall that you don't have to have something hand painted anymore. It used to be more important. So, yeah. So those are things that I'm considering. Um, I am much more rested after the couple of days over at Heart Soul, and then here in this campsite. And of course, having Tika was to come in camp and that she would bark, or having just an extra person and it's not all me that I'm depending on, right? I know there's somebody else here to chit chat with. Okay, and I'm one of those people. I like the early morning fire, and I make my coffee, but crap, I can talk in the morning. I'm not so much in the afternoon, but Tom talks in the afternoon, so it's all good. It works. And he comes to the cabin to camp sometimes. He's been doing that for a little while, a spring and a fall as he's moving around. So so um, it's nice to have that extra in a camp situation occasionally because it lets me relax really well. And so that has been really good. So I'm feeling very, when I first got here, I was like, I can't wait to get home. And part of it was I needed more quiet. I've been in places where I hear and see too many vehicles and stuff like that. And now I'm not. So I am much more relaxed, and going home's not as big an issue as it was, you know, when I got here. So, but it'll be good to, and I'll want to go, but it'll depend on if I have any responsibilities that I need to be there for. And so sometimes in the fall, I have some seasonal transition things that I need to take care of, and I'll do those when I get home. So, so. Oh, I'm so glad to see you guys all connecting. That makes me feel good. I love y'all. Y'all give me something to do, and a focus for every week to remember that I'm catching up and sharing with you that I've had a good. It's a nice community connection that we have. So I hope we can keep building this. Um, I need to do a little more research on the YouTube community connection stuff as well. Other companies I should mention from Expo. I'll have to do some more on that, but I have made over the last year or so a really good connection with the Brewtech company. Um, and this is Brewtech's. This is their pour over coffee uh, thing. It's a stainless steel pour over coffee stand, which is lovely. But it slides on my current cup, so I haven't used it yet. But it's a beautiful piece of kit in this waxed canvas, very bushcraft case. Love it. This gentleman that owns the company, his wife has MS. Um, I believe he was the first person out in the greater world that I told about having MS. And so we just have this connection now, and I love it. and it makes me feel good when I see him and we're able to. Okay, let me see. There was another question. Did you look at info I sent you about the hitch stand? Is that TJ Sheck? I did look at that, and I am really interested in that, but I have a little bit more research to do, because I have a question about at what height my trailer hitch, my current trailer hitch is. Will this put like the bottom of the hammock, the butt part of the hammock, right where your bottom sits, if you're sitting in it, will that put that too close to the ground? That's another question I have. So I'm not quite ready. Plus, I'm not home to meet that money order that Mojave Bohemian sent me. So I haven't had a chance to do that. You know, I used to hate English too, but hey, whatever. So, we're at an hour and 8 minutes. Oh, I was in a thrift store the other day, with Tom when we did errands a couple of days ago. And oh no, it was a consignment shop. And I found this really pretty like tunic, longer top for any of you guys, right? A little bit longer blouse that's kind of a teal blue, but it had all this beautiful embroidery on it. Now, the embroidery was machine made, and I think the fabric is rayon. Went to check out, and oh, good Lord, $6 or something, or $7. And I was like, bummer. It had a stain. The stain had gone through the back of the shirt. The lady at the checkout counter said, I can't sell this. She put it in the bag and gave it to me. So I have this really pretty embroidery. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing with it. I might wear it, stain and all. Who knows? There's a couple of loose threads I'll have to fix. But she gave me the blouse. That was so nice of her, because she didn't have to. And I did buy 2 little tiny cobalt blue, like votive candle holders. But they look like little tiny, they're see-through cobalt blue glass, but they look like little tiny plant pots. Anyways, I wanted them for sitting on the windows at the cabin, and they were $1.50 for the 2 of them. And I just love cobalt blue glass, so that feels really good too, to have gotten those. And they were so cheap. Sometimes it's worth, even if they're glass, it's all right. Español es bueno. Pero, Shane, de Español, wait, your Spanish es tus Español is muy mejor than mine. I can't even do it anymore. I can, but I'm thinking in English. Okay. Leaked out. Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you midnight. Yeah. Well, guys, if there's no more questions, I'll wait a couple minutes to see if there's an extra question coming up. I kind of feel like we're about done. Are we about done? And we'll regreso aquí próxima semana. Is that right, Shane? Come back next week. Next week, same place, same time. Yeah. Sí, verdad. And don't forget, I was taught, most of my Spanish was taught to me by a 3-year-old and a 9-year-old. And the children in the indigenous village I was in. So there was a little bit of a mix of the Bree. So there's a little bit of indigenous language in there too. And then, whatever. Yeah, and the German, I know a lot of people use German when they're training service dogs. I found that to be true, quite a thing. I don't know much except for shiesty, right? It's a few words. No, no. Hey, Tom, somebody just sent me a message on here that says, darn, no Tom shower scene. One of the women's wanted to see you take a shower.
Really?
She was being silly.
You'd have to pay for dinner first.
Oh, okay. So Tom says if you want to see him take a shower, you have to pay for dinner. Hi, Tom.
Hi.
All right, y'all. Ciao. See you next week. Have a great week. We'll catch up next week. And still don't forget, send me emails or comments, and I'll get back to you. Comments are really better right now because the notifications come up easier. If you send me an email, put stuff in all caps that it's from the video or something, a follower from live, or an Overland Expo question or something like that. Love y'all. Have a great week. Ciao. Whoops, where's the X? I can't see it. There it is.